My name is Carter, and I'm with the Baron72, and you're listening to the LumbridgeLounge podcast. If you like what you hear, be sure to watch our guides and other content on our YouTube channel. And if you want to listen to our podcast other than on YouTube, we are on places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. So for news today, remember to go on our YouTube and Instagram page to participate in the 3-bond giveaway. And that's going to go on until the 8th of January, so that's just in 2 more days. So if you want a chance at getting a bond, be sure to go and watch our most recent video on the YouTube page, and also check out our Instagram to see how to sign up. Pretty simple, and you're going to have really good chances of getting a bond, trust me. But anyways, how you doing, Colin?
I'm doing very, very good, man. How are you?
I can tell. I know exactly how you're doing. You're doing great.
I'm doing
and
great.
I'm doing great too. After hearing that news, we'll have to talk about that as soon as possible.
Heck yeah. Dude, the emotions that we just had about 30 minutes ago, right before we started recording. So I'll set it out for the listener right now. I'm just sitting here online by myself while Carter's doing some school stuff. He's off doing something else. So I'm just online on RuneScape, and I get a random clue scroll drop from Anku's on my Slayer task. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I might as well just do this before we start recording. And I do my hard clue, and 3 of the tasks take me out into the wilderness. And I'm like, dude, this is so pointless. Like, I hate hard clues because they take me out into places I'm uncomfortable in. And I get back to the GE after I finish it with the casket. And what do you know? I get the 3rd age plate body drop, baby.
Oh man, when Hugh sent me that screenshot and I looked at the number, I literally thought it said something like 111 bill or something. Like, I thought it was way more than what it was, and you thought it was way less than what it actually was.
Yeah, when I first opened it, I was like, I was like 111,000, like that's normal. 111K, that's whatever. And then I looked at the number again. I was like, holy crap. Like I just sat there in shock for like 5 seconds looking at the number, made sure it was screenshot, and then messaged you. What was my message? Let me look at it real quick.
You said, get on the voice chat right now.
Yeah, get on right now. Like, ASAP.
And I saw it immediately, and I was like, oh man, he finally got a pet. Awesome. But it's, I would say it's way better than a pet. Like, you have that collection drop on your account now, and you also got a good stack of cash too. More than you've ever had.
Oh yeah. First time ever having my stack of cash above 100 mil. And it feels awesome. Immediately bought the prayer scrolls. Like, feels great, man.
Oh yeah. Those are really big upgrades, by the way. Definitely good to have. And man, like, just thinking, like, you don't have the full Armadillo set or Ancestral, so it's like, that really boosts you to pick one of them over the other, and it's just going to be such a big upgrade to your account.
Oh, yeah.
But I can tell, like, you don't want to lose that cash stack for a while. I can tell that you like to see that number in your bank, so I can imagine it'll take a while for you to finally make a big purchase and lose that cash stack.
I bet the next time we go on a Cox run trying to learn the raid a little more, I'll probably buy one of them just for it.
For sure. For sure.
Yes.
No, and it's funny because the way you reacted, how you explained it. I mean, I obviously wasn't there when you got the drop, but I was there when you got another drop the other day, and that was a different reaction. You like scared everyone in your house the way you reacted then. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Okay. So my luck's been insane these last 3 days. So yesterday, nothing big really happened, but actually it was kind of disappointing because I've been saving hard clue caskets until I get 10, and I got 10 or 11, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna open them all just in case I get something big. And yesterday I got nothing big. Like, the biggest drop was 250k, so it's kind of sad. But then I get the drop today, so I was like, man, I should have just saved one more chest. It would have been a dope video, a dope 2-minute video, but whatever. But 2 days ago, me and Carter were at Bandos, and I got the Bandos chestplate drop.
Yeah. And we talked about it in the previous episode about how you got the tacit drop. So, like, now you have the Bandos chestplate to wear to call yours. You got it yourself. That's just an awesome feeling.
And just like just like the tacits, I made sure to withdraw the old ones, deposit mine that I got, and sell the old ones. So both of those are digitally mine that I got drops from. Even though they probably don't have any difference of numbers or anything, I know that those are my drops.
Right. Was the chest plate 27 mil or was it the tacits?
The chest plate was. The tacits were 22 mil at the time when I got that drop.
Gotcha. Because the Bandos chest plate's only 19 mil now.
Nice. Probably
And
because of Nex.
yep, that's definitely because of Nex, and that's something we'll talk about here in this episode.
Yeah, man. But before that, do we want to hit up our account progress, kind of where we're at?
Yeah, I could talk about mine pretty quick. Really not much to say, just I'm at that point where, you kind of just stick to one thing. If you're not PVMing, you're basically just doing one activity. And I've just been really hitting my blood runes, getting my rune crafting up. I really want to get the 90 rune crafting done out of the way so I can get my 90s, my base 90s and skills. And so I've been just dedicating all of my playtime to that. We have been discussing that we want to start doing a lot more Chambers of Zarek, and I did just talk to my brother-in-law, and I think we decided we're going to make a trio team and hit Chambers of Zarek more often and really start to learn that, so that'll be fun. Other than that, I hit 90 smithing recently in the past week, which is just another milestone towards my base 90s, and that skill wasn't so bad. It just takes time like every other skill. So getting 90 to 99 I don't think will be as bad as other skills will be. Other than that,
Sure.
we've just been doing bandos together, like those drops we mentioned. It's been fun. And I've done about 10 Nex kills, which is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to do more of that. What about you?
I'm excited to actually learn about Nex because we just unlocked it and I was terrible. I didn't get a single kill count, but I didn't know what was going on, so I was just like, I'm gonna learn this another day.
Yeah. No, Nex is cool. It's once you learn the mechanics, it's pretty impressive, and I think it'll be really fun when we start doing it in smaller groups because it is just crazy how many people are down there.
Dude, it was wigging me out because we went day one. Day one was just yesterday for us. We're recording this on the 6th. So yesterday, the 5th, day one was insane because 80 people in one room, all praying mage and all running around. My screen was just chaos and I couldn't even figure out what was going on at all. Half the time I'd lose Nex and just be like, what the heck?
Yeah.
She just dashed off somewhere and I couldn't even see it because all these people were in the way.
Yeah. Imagine seeing 80 people running around with their protection from mage or from magic up.
Yeah.
It's just chaos.
But if you didn't get to see it, kind of had to be there. You'll probably see it when another boss comes out in a while. So my account progress, let's get on to that. I'm still working on base 80s, but I have a huge update in those base 80s is I hit my agility goal. I don't know if I hit my agility goal last episode, but I know that this podcast for sure I hit 80 agility, which is huge because agility takes forever. And then the other huge account booster for me,
even better in my opinion.
Yeah, probably. That's why I saved it for last. Is 77 rune crafting. I can finally craft bloods, baby.
Oh, it's so nice. I just showed you how to do bloods just now, right before we recorded, so that we could actually, make blood runes while we're recording. And I could just tell the relief from you as I taught you how to do it, and just how much nicer it is doing this compared to lava runes. When I told you to look at that XP drop for the first time, you're just like, oh man, that's awesome.
Over 2,000 experience, oof. Because if you've never done lava runes before, because that's how I got to 77, you get 200-300 experience drops. So you're getting at most 600 to 800 experience per run, if that. Especially if you get to 75 and then you have the giant pouch, you get 200-300s, then a 100 drop. And just seeing 2,000 on one go Oh, it's so good. So
Yeah,
good.
it is, especially for runecrafting. By the way, if you guys want to learn how to do lava runecrafting, we have a guide on our YouTube channel. Check it out. It
Heck
is
yeah.
our most viewed video. It just hit 3,000 views the other day.
And it's
That's
very,
exciting.
very well done. Like, good job, Carter. I'll give you
Oh,
that.
thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're definitely working on some more guides for you guys. We're excited for that. It's nice to switch back and forth between these podcasts and the video guides. I enjoy doing both of them the same as the other. It's exciting.
And I'm really liking the idea of doing Slayer guides. So if there's any
Yeah,
specific Slayer guides you guys want to know, just leave it down in the comments or message on our Discord or something, because we'd be glad to go through some Slayer
exactly.
guides. Other than like Hydra. I've never done Hydra. So don't
Right.
worry about that one. I'm not there yet. So
Yeah. Right. And we love the support you guys are giving us. We read every comment. We appreciate it. Keep them coming. And we're excited to keep these videos rolling out with you guys.
sure.
Also, expect one of our goals, I would say this now, is we want to have some guests in the future. And just prepare for a guest coming up soon. I think it'll be a juicy episode.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah, heck yeah.
Nice. Well, should we move on? There's a couple things I'd like to talk about today with this time that we have. I think I want to start with the poll questions from today. I logged in this morning and I saw that there was a poll, and it kind of caught me off guard. I feel like it's been a while since we've had a poll. So I checked it out, and, you know, most of them are just talking about the next raid coming out, which is exciting. It's fun to see those questions being asked in game. You know, it makes it feel real, and it's coming soon. But one question really struck me, and it made me pretty excited. And it's question, what is it? It's question 9 out of 10. And the question says, should it be possible to enter another player's house while the owner is not home, as described in the blog? The owner of the house would have to be online and in the same world as you. When I read that, I was just like, you know, this whole project they're doing with the Steam client is just, it's a really good use of their time, because stuff like that was just not possible years ago. And even like that bank space that they increased just recently, they couldn't have done that unless they, made changes to the engine of the game, because it's such an old game. Things like that just couldn't happen. And it's really cool to see these questions being asked now, because it was a request years ago that they wanted, that the players wanted this to be possible, but the devs were like, sorry, like we can't add that. It just doesn't work with our coding and our engine. And so I don't know, what are your thoughts about that question? Obviously, everybody would want to have that in the game. It's not going to break anyone's accounts, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I just think that it would be good just in general for everybody. Like, the first thing I thought of when we were talking about it earlier was it's probably made mainly for like group Ironman and like helping the newer players along. Like, it's such a quality of life thing to be able to go to a house of a more, I wouldn't say mature, like more advanced player that's played this game for a while, that has the house. Like, why not have them use it? I don't see any negatives. I'd say the only thing is like time. Like, people that haven't unlocked the teleports and stuff will get advantages of getting the teleports, but then it's also encouraging you to make friends on the game. So I just don't see any negatives that are too negative. Like, it's just a good thing in general.
Oh yeah. And the last experience that we had with where this could have been beneficial to us is when we were doing the corporeal beast, where one of our friends didn't have a house yet to get the ornate pool to get their spec back. And it was you kind of had to work with them to make sure that you were in your house at the time that they were teleporting back, so that they could use your stuff in your house. And so now, if that passes the poll, you can just open up your house to the entire group and just have everybody go through the same house. And it doesn't matter if the owner is home or not, as long as they're online. And so I think that'll just really smooth things out. I think it'll really unite clans together. And also, like you said, Group Ironman. This is obviously towards Group Ironman accounts, where one person is dedicated to getting their construction up so that they could build a house for the whole team.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if the player was offline and people could still get in that house, but you can't make things perfect like that.
And I think it
As
makes
of
sense
now,
when they're offline.
but yeah.
I think it makes sense when they're offline. You can't get in their house. It's kind of like even IRL. If they're asleep or away from home, you're not really allowed into somebody's house. So
Yeah,
it makes sense.
right. But I think it'll be nice. Like for me, I would probably just open up my house every time I log in for the whole clan, for people that are still in the early game and need to get into the house. Because I remember when I had to use the house party world on World 330, and it was just always a really annoying thing that I didn't want to do all the time. I like to change my spellbook. I just didn't want to have to hop worlds to 330 where it's super crowded, find a house, get into this really crowded house to do stuff I wanted to do. If I was in a clan and I knew that person would always be hosting their house while they're online, I think it would just be so much easier for me to just go to that house instead.
Oh yeah.
And it'll just unite the clan closer, and it'll just be a more united experience, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Because I still have to do that with the spell books to get my ancient spell book to do bursting tasks.
Yeah.
I have to go get mine from a house party world to even make it possible. Or yeah, to make it even feasible to want to do those tasks, I have to go to the house party world.
Yeah.
And it's kind of annoying because it's kind of laggy there. There's so much going on.
Yeah. So I'm definitely voting. I already did vote yes for that, and I pretty much voted yes for every other thing in that poll. But yeah, that's something exciting to look forward to, and I think a lot of people are going to benefit from that. And I think it's just a really good quality of life feature.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But other than that, like we mentioned earlier, this week is that big, the big release of Nex. It's something that we've heard about and talked about for a while within the community. It is a boss that has existed on the original RuneScape game, I believe, all the way back in 2011. So Nex is well known in the RuneScape community. I didn't know anything about her until they talked about it here in old school RuneScape, but I do know the mechanics are a little different from the other game. But Colin and I here, we actually went through yesterday on day one of release and experienced what Nex has to offer. And I do think it was a good experience, although we had no idea what we were doing. But I at least looked up a guide afterwards, and I'm excited to go back there. And I think it'll be cool to give it another try.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like any new boss, and it seems like a feasible one to be able to do with a small group or with a decent sized group, not a tiny group, but it looks like fun. And I'm all for fun within video games and adding more fun, especially like a new boss with new gear. Like it's never bad for a game, I don't think.
Right. And this boss introduced some pretty important gear in the game that kind of changed a few things. I don't quite know the exact stat difference between the Bandos chestplate and the Tassets, but this Torva armor that Nex drops is apparently best in slot now for melee, which is interesting because it's been a long time since we've had a new best in slot, melee gear. We do have the Inquisitor's set, which is I think it's more niche towards crush bonus, but I do believe Torva is better over the Bandos chestplate, which is interesting, and it's going to be really cool to see how you could still utilize the Bandos chestplate, because I feel like the devs really want to keep that chestplate relevant in the game and not just treat it as garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking up the differences.
Oh, cool.
In them, but I know it's the highest strength gear now. So it's not like Inquisitor where it's highest defensive stats, but it's the highest positive stats. It's you're gonna get the most strength bonus. Right. It looks like the chest plate is a +6 strength bonus, where the Bandos chest plate is a +4. Tassets are 2, and the plate legs are 4. So it's +2 basically in every slot.
And that's what everybody in this game wants, is the strength bonus, because everybody wants a a bigger max hit over accuracy and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I can tell that the devs want to change that mindset. There's some raid gear coming out soon, and just more gear that they're talking about, where I think they're trying to make everything useful in certain areas of the game.
Yeah.
That way everything stays relevant and stays at a good value and keeps the game healthy.
For sure.
But I'm just looking through all the rewards of Nex, and it's been fun looking at the clan chat yesterday and seeing all these drops going through, people getting all these cool things. And I'm in fact actually using the blood essence right now while doing blood Runecrafting, and it's one of those new drops that Nex does, and it's pretty common. And so it'll be cool to rack those up and just use them all the time while I'm doing my blood Runecrafting, and it'll really help me get some extra blood runes. Although I think that's the sole cause of the price of blood runes just tanking. They're only at 280 GP right now, where a couple months ago they were at like 430.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks, but I think it's going to go back up after the hype is over and people move back to other areas of the game, especially with the new raid coming out. Everybody's just excited for this piece of content, so it's just driving a lot of differences in the economy.
Well, and every high tier player needs blood runes. Like they will always be used in the game. So it's dropping in price right now because not many people are using them because everybody's doing Nex right now.
Yep.
And everybody's making more blood runes because of these blood rune drops. I think they'll go up, but I don't know if they'll go up as high as what they used to be.
Yeah.
Like they'll still be a very, very good money maker though.
Yeah. Very passive, very casual, still lots of money. But yeah.
Yeah. So Carter, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, personally, what do you think of the looks of the Torva armor?
I think they did make some changes when they first announced it. It looked like you were wearing skinny jeans or something in the first picture they showed. For some reason, it looks better now. I just don't like the helmet so much, but it's not my favorite, I have to say. But it is refreshing to have a more knight armor looking, because the Bandos chestplate is very unique looking. It's
very barbarian,
very barbaric and goblin-esque looking armor. And so I think my favorite looking armor in the game right now is the Inquisitor set. But this armor, I feel like a lot of people in the community don't like it. I keep an eye on the Reddit subreddit for this game, and I did see a dev actually mention that they don't like it, and they actually want to redesign it in the future, which I can see happening. I can see them adding a drop for Nex where, how some weapons and stuff in the game, you can change the cosmetic look of it.
Ornament kits.
I feel like that's the way they would do it, because it would be weird to change the base look of it after releasing it. I don't know. It just seems weird. I mean, they could do that, but I could see it being more realistic that they would, add a drop where you can then change the look of the armor, because it's not like it's a horrible looking set.
No, it looks awesome to me. Other than the helmet, it's just the helmet. To me, looks like a plug-in. Like I'm gonna plug in my phone to the wall.
Yeah, like an outlet.
Yeah, it looks like an outlet. It's like
right.
I don't really like that. Like if the helmet was more knightish, like you were saying, I think it'd be really, really, really nice. Because I really like the chest plate. I really like the plate legs. It's hard to do plate legs really, really nice. So I think the whole chest plate legs look really, really good. It's just the helmet looks weird to me.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder what it'll look like when you combine the best in slot weapons that you get from the raid. It might. I just don't know how desert looking the weapons will be, and I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, one thing I do want to mention before we move on is the Armadillo crossbow spiking in price before Nex comes out. It is interesting to hear the whole story about it. I did read a thread on Reddit this morning about it, where, of course, if you guys are in this game right now, you probably heard that the Armadillo crossbow rose all the way up to 90 mil. And when I got mine, a year ago or so, it was only at 25 mil. And so when I saw that get up to 90, I even checked on the GE, and I sold mine for 88 mil just because like I'd rather get this money from it while it's way up in price than to have the so-called best in slot for next, because we don't know that yet. Everybody's just speculating that the Armadillo Crossbow is going to be the best in slot for next. Whereas right now it's actually the Twisted Bow, and that's something that we have, that we share. So even then, like, I just made a bunch of money for that. And then right after I sold it that day, it went down to like 60. So like I just was pretty lucky. Someone in the clan actually mentioned that if we have one and we don't want to keep it, to sell it right now, because I don't think it was going to get any higher. And now it's, let me look, it's like
47.
47 mil.
I looked it up right now. Yeah, it's a 47.
So I think it's going to drop even more later on. But the interesting thing that I mentioned just now is that it is going to be best in slot at Nex, because when you do it in a smaller group, which is going to be a more common thing later on, you know, not everyone's going to camp at Nex 3 months from now. When you want to do Nex, you're going to have to find those groups of people, and it's going to be a lot less than 60, because they actually did just lower it from 80 as a maximum capacity to 60. So that's another thing they added. But they said it's going to be best in slot to use the Armadillo Crossbow there, because you're going to want to have a shield slot with you, because she's going to do a lot of damage. Right now, the Twisted Bow is the best in slot because there's 60 people in a room, and everybody's just shooting hundreds of arrows at her, and she dies within 2 minutes. And she hardly even attacks you if you know what you're doing, because there's so many people. So later on, the Armadillo Crossbow will be the best in slot there, just because you're able to have a shield equipped to be able to protect yourself from a lot more damage.
Will Zerite be better, the next version of the Armadillo?
You know, I think it should be, because it should be created to be used for her. I haven't looked too much into it, but I do know that you just have to use the piece that it drops on the Armadillo Crossbow. So you'll need an Armadillo Crossbow anyway. So I would say that I don't think it would make it worse if you add it to the Armadillo Crossbow. I feel like it would only get better.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think there's going to be a whole meta involved in what you should do with Nex. And there's already an actual like meta now after a couple hours of Nex being released, where one person will actually be the dedicated person to get the virus from her, because she does this special attack where she'll infect a player with this disease and they'll start coughing. And if anyone's near them, that virus will spread, and eventually everybody will have it if nobody knows what they're doing. But now there's this whole method where people discovered that whoever has the lowest magic defense or something like that will get infected, guaranteed. And so they do that and stand in a corner and just take the hit, and they're the only ones that are infected. So now since I've done it a few more times, I realize that I'm no longer getting infected because somebody knows what they're doing, and they're not spreading the disease. So
gotcha. Probably
it's interesting.
With 2 accounts. Probably someone with 2 accounts, you think, and he's using one to get the kill and the other one just to...
Well, just for that phase, they have to stand in the corner. So
yeah.
I don't know if they'll be using 2, but it makes sense that they could.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's one of the drops, that crossbow, the Zerite crossbow. But one weapon that I was really excited to see, and not really use because I'm not a PvPer, but I think it'll be just make PvP look so much more entertaining to watch. And it's the Ancient Godsword. So the devs introduced another Godsword in the game. It has the ancient symbol on the bottom underneath the hilt. You see it in the ancient staff when you do the desert. Is it the desert?
The desert
quest?
treasure.
The desert treasure quest. That's where you get that.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll just read what the special attack does with the Ancient Godsword, because that's what the Godswords are known for, right? With the special attack. And so, yeah, I'll just read it. It's crazy. So the special attack is called Blood Sacrifice. And it says the Ancient Godsword, it targets a single individual with double the accuracy. And if it hits, it deals a normal hit with 10% increased damage. And in addition to that, there's an 8-cycle timer where if the target does not move more than 5 tiles away before the timer ends, they'll be hit for 25 damage, with the attacker getting healed for the same amount of damage that they dealt.
Ice Barrage and Spec. Like, whoa, that's crazy.
So you could like hit a lot of damage with them if you get lucky with an with a 10% increased damage.
Yeah.
And if they don't run away, like let's say they don't know that effect or you ice barrage them like you said, they're going to take another 25 damage. And then you just heal for it too. Like it's just crazy.
That's
And
ridiculous.
I saw a little clip of it recently and somebody used it and they hit like an 83 and then immediately hit another attack. I don't really know what they were doing because I don't watch PvP that much. But they like killed their enemy in 1 or 2 ticks with the enemy being at like full health.
That's nasty.
I think I don't know if it's broken, or I don't know how lucky that hit was, but it was crazy. Like he didn't even use that timer move because the guy was dead before it even went off.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And I think it'll just make watching and also playing in PvP just way more fun. It's just a really cool tool to use.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun to like. I feel like that would be a good weapon for learners to use, like people that are trying to get into PvP.
Yeah. Right.
Like I don't know.
Right now it's 93 mil for that weapon.
Oof.
So it's pretty pricey right now, but
I
always, every new item that comes out is always way higher than what it will be later on.
Yeah. Because I think it was the legs. I don't remember. I saw it on another video. I don't remember which YouTuber. I think it was Solo Mission. But they sold the plate legs. The first plate legs got sold for max cash.
Yeah.
Just
and like the people
why?
that buy those things, they've been waiting for the new content forever. They don't mind spending max cash on it because they have all the cash in the world.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even faze them. But that person who sold it is, swimming in money now.
Rolling in it, doing whatever they want on this game now.
Yeah.
So, yep. Well, is there anything else about Next we want to talk about? We don't really know the mechanics by heart, so there's not much we can talk about mechanics-wise. But
yeah, I think it's something that we can make a guide on pretty soon if we wanted to.
Yeah.
It's not really in our plan for now, but I can definitely see it being something that we can make a guide on.
For sure.
Well, should we do our Reddit post of the week? I think it's a pretty relatable one, kind of.
Do
for
it,
you.
Man. Show it.
This Reddit post of the week is posted by McSuton68 about 5 days ago on the 2007 Scape subreddit, and the title of it says, "Decided to send a solo raid on the group Iron Man. I'm a total noob and kept dying to Ulm." So the screenshot shows him at the bank at Chambers of Zarek, and you can tell he's a group Iron Man with the symbol next to his username. And you can see the score he got at Chambers. He got 1,343 points, which is what we usually get on average because we suck at it right now. We're still learning and we die 16 times to Ulm. But he got lucky enough with those 1,300 points to grab a T-bow out of it. And he's also on a group Iron Man. And so for me, if that was me, I wouldn't tell my team. I would just drop trade it to my main. Because
that's crazy.
Like, sure, you could use a T-bow on the group Iron Man, but why would you ever trade your T-bow to a teammate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you really trust them.
Like, we were talking about drops for me earlier today, and like I feel incredibly lucky, but like there's always somebody out there that's way more lucky. Like, what the freak? Looking at that picture.
Man, I don't know which one's more rare. I feel like a third age plate body from a hard clue scroll. We looked up the drop rate. It's a 1 out of 211,000 for that. I feel like the T-bow with that is not as rare.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'll have to look it up and put it in the comments below to see. But
yeah,
but only having 1,000 points, like that's got to be more like more rare than anything. Like
definitely.
Who knows?
But not as rare as a third age plate body, I think.
All right, if you say
I
so.
think. Yeah, from a hard clue.
Okay.
We'll have to see though. We'll definitely talk about it and see which one is more rare.
Well, if the Tebow's less rare than I got Jit, man. Just kidding. Only 92 mil compared to a bill. Like, let's go. Come
Right.
on.
We're just gonna have to start doing more chambers then, get another Tebow.
Oh, okay. I see. I see.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
you want to wrap it up for us?
Sure. Like Carter said at the beginning of this video, if you're on Spotify or anywhere else, come look at our YouTube channel. We have other videos like guides and whatnot. If you want to look at other content, if not, that's chill too. If you are on YouTube listening to this podcast and want to listen to this podcast somewhere else, there is Spotify, Apple Music, and other places that you can find podcasts. Just look up Lumbridge Lounge and you'll probably find us. With that being said, go ahead and come join the Discord if you want. Anything else I'm missing?
No, I think we're good. Thank you guys for
All
watching.
right.
We'll see you guys next time.
Deuces. Have a good one.